Hey everybody, GT here from GT's Barbecue. Hey, it's St. Patty's Day coming up, and I'm going to do some corned beef and cabbage out on my smoker. So it's going to be delicious. Stay tuned. I'll get this thing seasoned up here in a sec, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have here about a 3.5 pound corned beef brisket flat. And what I'm going to do is season this up a little bit. The traditional way to cook corned beef, people usually will boil it because it's brined in salt. So there's a lot of brine in here, and it can be really salty if you don't get some of that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke it on my pellet grill for a couple hours to get a nice smoke flavor on it. I am going to season it a little bit, and then I'm going to put it in a pan with some water and some vegetables and let it cook. Probably run it up to a temp of probably around 195 to 200 degrees. Not quite as high as I would cook a normal brisket. And I'm just using a combination actually here of Cosmos Q cow cover, and I actually had some leftover Malcolm Reed's steak rub. Both are really good on beef. I'm not going to put a whole lot on here because, like I say, it's been brined and they're seasoning inside, but a lot of that's going to come out in the water, and I want to get a little bit of a bark on here. So I'm just going to kind of cover it like so. Pat that in. Of course, I want to get the sides, get the end. The edges. I'm not going to put anything on the fat cap. So there, that's about all I'm going to do. Get a little seasoning on the outside. I'm going to let that sweat for probably 10 or 15 minutes while my grill gets up to temp. So stay tuned. We'll get outside and we'll get it on the smoker. Okay, Angus is nailed at 250 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and get our brisket on. I'm just going to set this right here in the middle. I'm not even going to look at it for 2 hours, come back, and then we'll get it in a pan with some water. So stay tuned. I'll be back here in a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and get our cabbage ready for our corned beef and cabbage. What I've done here is I've taken a knife and cored out this cabbage, kind of in a pyramid there, which leaves a little cavity, and I've taken the knife and poked holes. You don't want to pierce the sides, but get some holes down in there. And then I'm going to take about a 1/4 stick of butter, plop down in there like so, and a little bit of my homemade salt, pepper, garlic, like that. I'll put a recipe for this up above, and a little bit of Killer Hogs The barbecue rub. Gives it a little bit of extra flavor and color. And I'm just going to take the top, put it back on, press it down into the butter like so. And then I'm going to take some foil, wrap around this. This will take about 3 hours on the smoker. So I'm going to put it on. I'm just about ready to get the brisket, the corned beef brisket, put in a pan with some water. And I'll put this on at the same time. So stay tuned. We'll get outside and we'll see what we get. Okay, it's been a couple hours here. I'm going to take a peek at our brisket. Oh yeah, I'm getting that nice color on there. Hopefully it's not too sunny where you can't see that. That's kind of what we're looking at, getting a little bit of a bark on it. And I am going to go ahead and put it in this pan right now. And while I'm here, I'm going to take a quick temp just out of curiosity. See what we're looking at. And we're sitting at about 120 degrees so far. That's about what I expected. I'm going to go ahead and get a meat probe in it. Reach across here. Like so. And I'm just going to kind of hit a thick part of the meat. It doesn't have to be in too deep. Just something like that. Right there. And I just have a full pan here, disposable pan. I'm going to go ahead and put in a pitcher of water. I'm going to turn this thing up to about 300 degrees, and this water will get a nice little steam bath going for this thing. And that's about right. You can see it's up about halfway on the brisket. I'm going to go ahead and seal it up with some foil. Turn that down, angle it down just a little bit there. I want to seal this up nice and tight so that steam can stay inside. And I'm going to move it over just a little bit. And I'm going to get my cabbage on. And I'm just going to leave my cabbage uncovered like this for now. I want it to soak up a little bit of smoke. This is going to take about 3 hours to cook. So after about an hour or so, I'll go ahead and seal that thing up and let it go. So for now, we're just going to wait and see what we get here in a couple hours. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Okay, it's been about another 90 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and close up our cabbage now. Get that sealed up. Nice and tight. Take a peek at our brisket. It's temping about. I'm going to be careful. There's going to be steam. Oh yeah. That's looking nice. Beautiful bark. Time to go ahead and get the veggies in. I have here some, I don't know, I think there was 4 carrots, about 6, I don't know, small to medium sized potatoes. I just kind of quartered them. Just kind of get these mixed in here. Like that. Got 2 large onions. I'd say we're about an hour away. From being done. So I'm going to get these in here like so. Get them sealed back up nice and tight. And we'll come back and give them a check. Stay tuned. Okay, so there you have it. We got some corned beef and some cabbage. The potatoes came out nice and fork tender. The carrots are good. The onions are good. I've got my cabbage over here. I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at this. I'm going to take the core out. And then I'll probably just go ahead and quarter this. Like so. Oh yeah, oh man, that is so moist, so tender. You can kind of see where the butter and the spices got down inside the meat of the cabbage. Perfect. That's going to be delicious. So that's the cabbage portion of our show. Let me move this out of the way. Now for the star. Let's get our corned beef over here. This ended up taking about 5 hours, almost 5.5 hours, I guess. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. And the internal temp on this was about 198 degrees when I finished with it. So keep in mind, corned beef is not going to be the same texture as what you typically will find with a brisket. You've got that nice red color. Get some nice thin slices here. Man, I wish you could smell that. Got a little bark on the outside. This is going to be good. A little sauerkraut, a little rye. So let's just take a bite of one of these. Pulls apart. It's corned beef. Perfect taste. Perfect seasoning on the outside. This is going to go great with these vegetables and this cabbage. Let me get my gloves off here. Total success. I highly recommend this. Couldn't have been better. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love every one of you, except for you. And happy St. Patrick's Day. This is going to be a great meal. Stay safe. If you're so inclined, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.